Hi, I'm Courtney, the Challenge Director for Made Smarter Innovation. I'd like to just take a few minutes just to give you an overview of the challenge and how you can help with a digital supply chain. The overall innovation program invests 147 million to support digital manufacturing, digital supply chain ideas. We want to try and create a digital innovation ecosystem that transforms UK manufacturing. We decided to do that by a range of different investments that we plan to make, most of which are up and running currently, and some which are to follow during the course of this year. It starts with a standards program, which really looks at addressing interoperability challenges and standardization across manufacturing and supply chains, really making those systems much more interoperable and easy to use and implement. We have a core research program, which comprises of 5 multidisciplinary research centers, which are looking at digital innovations to progress even further again across multiple sectors. In addition to that, we've got some support from the Economic and Social Research Council, so looking at that bigger macroeconomic picture and how the future of manufacturing can be shaped and developed using their insights. We have three rounds essentially of collaborative R&D investment, which we've made £60 million in total. The initial Fast Start program, which was in 2019, a digital supply chain competition, which we ran during last year and projects are up and running for, and a sustainable smart factory competition, which is under assessment right now. Those 3 programs in total will invest over 60 million and have many hundreds of industrial companies working together to really address the fundamental challenges they face. In supporting that, the innovation hubs for digital supply chain, which is led by the Digital Catapult, but also a smart factory hub, which will launch shortly, are really there to accelerate the industrialization of those technology ideas that people have, and to bring together, as we do across the rest of the program, technology developers, large and small, manufacturers, large and small, from all sectors and all parts of the UK, and to bring in the research and academic networks across all those too. Bringing that full ecosystem together in those innovation hubs is a really vital part of what we're doing. We also look to focus on some tech startups and SMEs, for very early stage technology companies, and offering them the opportunity of working with leading industry companies who have challenges that they need addressed by latest technology. We have completed one phase of that, which is a £1 million investment with a Digital Catapult, where we created 4 MVPs at the end of a 9-12 month process. And we'll do further rounds of that, hopefully this year and beyond. And the last stage of the program is to look at the global side of that. How do we work globally? How do we collaborate globally? How can we see growth and opportunities for technology and manufacturing companies in the UK? We have a first phase of that, which has been launched working with Taiwan, and we're looking to grow that further with Singapore and India. In terms of how we want to operate this program, there are 3 core principles really at heart. First is to create a connected, collaborative ecosystem. And that really creates the pathway from the best ideas that might come from research centers or startups all the way through to industrial scale solutions. All the interventions I just mentioned have manufacturers, large and small, technology solution providers, large and small, universities, RTOs, investors, and so on, all have come together. Whether that's in the research centers, the innovation hubs, the collaborative R&D programs, our global program, or technology accelerators, they all have those players involved. We think that's a really important part of it, to create that connected ecosystem. And it also works across sectors. So it's important to say that we support all manufacturing sectors, and many of the most successful projects we have brought together the key industry players from pharmaceuticals, aerospace and automotive and so on into really new, novel, interesting collaborations. And sort of new novel collaborations is a really important part of this program across the interventions. We seek to put people at the core of digitalization. So rather than presume that there'll be a dystopian future, we're really keen to harness the power of diversity, new ideas, new voices, and getting the best from everyone across the ecosystem to connect those innovators and disruptors and create communities from them. So whether you're an academic, an innovator within a large company, you're a startup and so on, we really want to try and build that community of people that are going to transform the manufacturing landscape in the UK. But also by putting people at the core, we make sure we develop solutions that are compellingly adoptable, that really do transform the working environment and the work of the individuals in shop floors and across manufacturing businesses. We also have a positive outlet in terms of delivering the future we want. There is an opportunity to build a new manufacturing ecosystem, to create a net zero world. If you look across all sectors, they're transforming at a tremendous rate, and that'll need to go further and faster to deliver net zero ambitions across food sector, pharmaceutical sector, automotive, aerospace, and so on. Working on how to manufacturing these future products is a massive challenge, but a massive opportunity. We want to deliver a transformed future of work. We want that to be high skilled, high job satisfaction, highly diverse, and a really much more open working environment, and to really create that positive future of work within manufacturing. And the last thing, we want to ensure that by growth of manufacturing and the technology sector that underpins it, we overall strengthen the resilience, sustainability of manufacturing, but the broader economy and society. So we really want to have a positive impact on that. So thanks very much for listening. I hope to engage with you soon. And I'm going to pass over now to Jan Godsall, who's going to tell you about the Interact programme.
Hi, I'm Jan Godsall. I'm a Professor of Operations and Supply Chain Strategy and Dean of the School of Business and Economics at Loughborough University. But more importantly, in the context of this presentation, I'm co-director alongside Professor Jill McBride from Strathclyde Business School of the Interact Network. So our long-term vision is to build a strong, vibrant and interdisciplinary community to support UK manufacturing in the innovation and diffusion of digital technologies. And we hope that this will result in a stronger, more resilient manufacturing base. Interact has around 4.4 million of funding from the ESRC to help us further this aim. We kicked off in November 2021 and we run through to December 2024. Now, our programme is aligned to the Made Smarter Innovation Programme Principle 3, which is very much focused about delivering the future that we want. And that principle really looks at the future from three different aspects. Firstly, about how we can create a new manufacturing ecosystem to create a net zero world. Secondly, how that can enable a transformed future of work within manufacturing. And last but not least, we need to strengthen the resilience and sustainability through growing our economy. And what we did was take these three programme aims and then think about how they could shape the Interact programme. And what they did was deliver three different elements for our core research programme: the future of manufacturing ecosystems, which I lead at Loughborough University, the future of work core research programme led by Jill at Strathclyde University, and the future of economy core research programme, which is led by Professor Vanya Senna at Sheffield University. But as we started to put together Interact, we were very, very mindful that we were facing a number of challenges. And the first of these is that there's really a number of fragmented and conflicting perspectives of the future. So when people start to do their research, they start by sort of reinventing the wheel because they're not necessarily sure of which vision of the future to believe. And so what we actually think we can do is start to bring together a broad range of different insights so that we can actually start to set the direction for the future that we want. Secondly, sometimes academics, particularly social scientists, may be accused of not necessarily being industrially relevant. We come up with great insights, but industry don't know how to use them. So what we're trying to do is to make sure that we do respond to industry needs. And last but not least, we actually make those insights accessible to industry in a way that they can use. In other words, in terms of providing actionable insights for industry. And so essentially the way that we can work together with our network, with our core research programme acting as the sort of glue that holds it together, but branching out from that using commissioned research and impact acceleration, we've got three strands. So our core research programme is very much focused around that direction setting. Our lens is out to 2035, and we've got those three core themes. But actually, we've also got 1.4 million of pass-through funding. This is funding that is for commissioned research that will respond to industry needs. And we've got a range of different funding mechanisms, whether it be funding systematic or meta reviews, funding small projects, and also industrial sandpits. And then last but not least, we've created an impact acceleration programme to ensure that we can create these actionable insights for industry. And that's because we know that actually there's a lot of insights, a lot of research that's already been done by the social sciences, but it's just not in a format that's easy to share. And so by providing impact acceleration funding, by hosting workshops that teach impact skills, and also by training up over 30 different storytelling fellows, and using storytelling as a mechanism to turn social science insights into something more accessible by industry, we hope to create a network that is underpinned by a strong knowledge exchange programme. And so I would encourage you all to start interacting, first and foremost by signing up to Interact and becoming part of the community. Secondly, to actually really reach out and apply for the research funding through our commissioned research programme. And we particularly would like to encourage early career researchers to apply. And last but not least, you can attend our events as part of our knowledge exchange programme. And I'm just about to hand over to Tim Lawrence, who will explain a little bit more about the Digital Supply Chain Innovation Hub. But as Chris may have explained, Made Smarter Innovation has a range of different investments that span the whole range of TRL levels, right the way from EPSRC research centres, our own network funded by the ESRC, but there's also technology accelerators, Innovate CR&D projects, innovation hubs, and a KTN innovation network. And what we've realised is that there's a really strong link between the Digital Supply Chain Innovation Hub and its desire to form an academic network and the social science network through Interact. And what we hope to do is to be able to bring these two things together. And later on, my colleague, Professor Ying Ji, will explain how we're going to do that. So just to conclude, I'd really encourage you to connect and to start interacting, and you can do so by following our website or scanning the QR code.
My name is Tim Lawrence and I'm Director of Digital Supply Chain at the Digital Catapult. Supply chains cover nearly every industry, from life sciences through automotive to energy and utilities. They have become increasingly critical to manufacturing businesses as they've globalized over the last 20 years. Supply chains typically account for 50 to 70% of manufacturing business costs, account for over 80% of CO2 emissions, and are large employers, accounting for typically 5 jobs for every one at the OEM. As supply chains come under pressure, over 50% of manufacturers are looking to move some or all of their supply chains more locally to their factories, and they're increasingly looking at digital technologies. As supply chains have globalized, they've become increasingly challenged. And I'm sure you're aware of many of these issues, such as increasing risks in global supply chains leading to a lack of resilience, changes in consumer demand and supply risks leading to many imbalances in the supply chain, increased need to reduce CO2 emissions and make supply chains more circular and sustainable, supply chain financing, and the growing problems of last mile logistics as businesses move online. And I'm sure you're aware from your experience of others. To address these supply chain issues, as part of the Made Smarter Innovation Programme that Chris mentioned earlier, we're launching a Digital Supply Chain Innovation Hub, a 20 million funded programme through Innovate UK and UK Industry. The hub is aimed at helping UK industry developing a globally competitive digital innovation ecosystem, addressing these supply chain challenges with the aim of making supply chains more sustainable, resilient, and efficient. So how does the hub plan to do this? Firstly, we're setting up a governance structure including an industry advisory board, academic network, and strategic advisory board, linking into the wider ecosystem of industry, both large and small, government, industry bodies, tech companies, and the academic community. Secondly, we're developing a virtual hub, which will become a key asset for sharing digital supply chain insights, for showcasing the projects we're running, and as a network for connecting those interested in digital supply chain transformation. In terms of projects to deliver the digital innovation, we are setting up and delivering a series of flagship projects through our partners and industry consortia. These projects include the use of digital twins in pharmaceutical supply chains, data sharing across the supply chains in critical defense projects, right the way through to collaborative logistics. Secondly, we're aiming to launch further projects through a series of open calls starting in April and running over the next 4 years. Those open calls will cover things like larger end-to-end projects, as well as tech-driven accelerators. And from these projects, we will be building a series of test beds and demonstrators, which we will have across the UK to show what innovation can be delivered in the digital supply chain. I hope this provides an overview of what the hub will deliver. Ying will now talk through how we would like to engage and involve academia in more detail. If you have any questions or want further details on what we're doing, please contact us through the links provided. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ying Xie. I'm a professor in supply chain management from Anglia Ruskin University. I'm also a member of the Strategic Advisory Board for the Digital Supply Chain Innovation Hub. Today, I would like to introduce the new academic network, which is to be launched in March this year. The academic network will be formed as a special interest group of the Interact network. The academic network will be one of the 3 stakeholder groups for the Digital Supply Chain Innovation Hub to steer, drive, and advise the program. The academic network will bring forward the latest research themes and findings that are ready for transition from academia into industrial development. It will support industry partners to identify and address supply chain challenges. It will also act as the interface to enable a deeper level of connection to research communities. We also hope the academic network will amplify the reach and impact of Digital Supply Chain Innovation Hub and Interact network. Specific potential roles of academic partners could be developing a knowledge base of supply chain, digital skills, data science, cybersecurity, and many more. It could also be creating a repository of supply chain tools, methods, and frameworks applicable to address industrial challenges. Academics could create a database of supply chain data and information, including open sources of data sets, to improve end-to-end supply chain visibility, to advance digitalization of supply chain, for example, to feed into the development of digital twins of the supply chain. Academic partners will assist with defining the focus of forthcoming funding calls and advise the Strategic Advisory Board on research development in areas of supply chain. Academic partners will develop methodology to assess impact of the funded projects, the impact of the Interact network, and the Digital Supply Chain Innovation Hub. Joining the network will also bring many opportunities to our academic partners. You will be invited to apply for funding opportunities published by both Digital Innovation Hub and the Interact network. You will have the opportunities to involve in the flagship projects with industrial partners. You will be exposed to a wide network of companies and academic institutions. The academic network provides a platform to exchange ideas, to foster collaborations between industries and academia, to build our research capabilities and capacities, and to amplify impacts of research through knowledge transfer. The academic network is an open and inclusive network. We welcome every academic with a specific expertise to join us to contribute to the development of the Digital Supply Chain Innovation Hub and the Interact network. Thank you for watching this video. We will hold an academic network workshop in March this year. A survey will be sent along with this video. If you want to get involved, please fill the survey to express an interest, and we look forward to seeing you in a workshop. Thank you.